Justin Timberlake, Sexy Back, was out at the time. We thought, yeah, we'll go with that.
In my opinion, Toby, you weren't bringing Sexy Back. You're bringing nothing back. He's doing loads of this, he's doing loads of that to women. You don't want to see Toby doing that.
If Twitter had been around when Toby Anstis was doing street dancing, then he would have been trending just universe-wide, not worldwide, because it was fascinating.
And then, bizarrely, he runs into the audience and grabs the cheeky girls.
I remember once I was out DJing at a club and I played that tune and a couple of people came over and said, come on in, Tobe, come on, do the moves. Like, are you having a laugh? Do you want me to clear the room?
No thanks, Toby, we'll just move on. And now a shocking trip over the rainbow.
I'd do anything for you, dear, anything.
Anything that involves Angelo Weber is never going to be edgy. But one of the most hilarious aspects of it was when people were voted out, they weren't allowed to leave graciously. They didn't just sort of scuttle off stage.
We thank you very sweetly for doing it so neatly.
No one wants to be voted off a talent show, especially not live in front of the viewing millions.
Just a step beyond the rest.
Camp and cruel, all at the same time. I mean, just the campest and the cruelest ending to any reality show.
Over the rainbow.
First, the ceremonial removal of the failed contestants' footwear.
Obviously, it's a bit devastating when you know you've got to leave and give your shoes back, which was horrible. A couple of times, the girls had to give me their shoes, and I just felt awkward. I was just like, do I have to do this?
Not only is she out of the competition, but if you thought you were putting any of your costume in your bag, love, you're forgetting about it, because we're having those shoes.
Barefoot and tearful, our wannabe West Enders were then forced to leave the stage for the very last time. But how?
They were strung up on a plastic moon to warble away a Judy Garland number.
But I used to get really worried as well because they used to sit on this moon, this tiny little moon, and they only had this little thing to put their hand through, and then they had just had to balance on this really small ledge, being really upset and emotional, singing their hearts out, and then being carried 20 foot in the air. And I used to think, oh my, something, you know, awful is going to happen right now.
Let's see the pain on your face as your life's dreams crumble around you.
It can't be fun for the girl who's lost, having to sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow through tears.
Got to Dance, the show with ambitions to discover the greatest dancing talent in the UK. The show was aiming high, so everyone was stunned when this lady turned up to audition.
Happiness on Got to Dance is a tour de force unlike anything I've ever seen.
Whenever I hear music, all I want to do is move.
They've given her a ballet bar, and she thinks that if she puts her leg and holds it up there, she's straight.
So, as Happiness prepared for her performance, viewers had a pretty good idea what they were about to see. But their expectations were to be exceeded in every possible way.
And then she goes out on stage and unleashes a beast.
I'm a scat man.
Inspirations for my dancing came primarily from Michael Jackson.
Just this thing. I don't really know how to describe it.
She was chopping something. I think she was chopping.
I just remember seeing the three judges' faces. They were literally, is she really doing this in front of us? This is a dance competition.
When she starts the performance, you kind of go, oh, God, what's this about? And then, as it goes on, you drop your hands And it's compelling watching. It's amazing.
I chose Scatman John because that was the one that kind of resonated with me the most, and it really gave me extra energy.
Against all odds, Happiness had the crowd on their feet. And within a week, she was an internet phenomenon with over 3 million hits on YouTube.
I'm not really too pushed about a dancing career as such, but I'd just like to see where it might take me. Give me a call.
The Games was a format where they took 5 or 6 celebrity men and 5 or 6 celebrity women, and they were given different sports to do.
And we watched through our fingers as these celebrities got hurt. Sometimes really hurt.
Oh, and there she twists it there, and the leg twists.
It's pretty horrendous. It's quite hardcore.
But the moment that hurt the most came courtesy of Bobby Davro.
You just heard him say, I will not be last.
For whom sporting success was a matter of family honour.
My dad, who was an ex-Olympic athlete, had come to see me run the 100 metres.
And here is Davro Sr., or Bill Nankerville as he's also known, running very fast in a race in 1951. With athletic ancestry like this, Bobby was confident of glory in the Games 100 metres.
Harvey's in it, a big fit lad, and he's down there. Whoom, he's gone.
Harvey's gone. Harvey's out.
So I come last.
Oh,
But my father's, he looked so gutted. He was so ashamed of me, my dad. And I thought, I'll make it up in the diving.
And that's when disaster really struck for Davro.
James Stewart, he gets up and pulls out a good dive. So I think to myself, I've got to up the game here.
This is incredible.
And so Bobby goes up.
5 metres.
Here he goes, 5 metre.
And up. And up. All the way up to the 10-metre board to attempt something that no celebrity had ever tried before.
And I decided to do an inward tuck dive.
This is totally unexpected.
I've jumped off the 10-metre board, and you have time to think. Like, you don't just jump and hit the water. You have time to think, because it's so high.
Well, did you see the determination in his eyes? It looks like he just killed his mother. This is incredible.
It's like when someone goes off that top board, you don't, especially people that aren't trained to do it, you don't know what's going to happen, and you saw some sights.
Sights like this.
Good jump. Oh, he's stuck. Oh, my goodness me. He's landed on his Jerry Halls.
It was the noise first. It was like that. Gee, everyone went, ooh, cool, look what he's done.
Good jump. Oh, he's stuck. Oh,
It was a horrible experience. Black and blue I was, black and blue.
I think Bobby Davro's belly flop on the Games needs to be played again and again and again, because I've watched it about 1,000 times and I still piss myself laughing every time.
I think they're still looking for my testicles in that swimming pool up in Sheffield.
She's beautiful, she was graceful.
I think she's a brave woman. I really, really do.
Fantastic. Well done to her, really. Well done.
The talent show contestant they're talking about is not someone we normally associate with compliments. Yes, that's a surprise. People being nice about the artist formerly known as Mrs. McCartney.
She was very much reviled and hated over here.
She was really bullied by everyone.
But when Heather Mills took part in not one but 2 dancing competitions, we were shocked for several reasons.
For someone who's got one leg to do a dancing show is a little unusual, but for someone with one leg to be flinging themselves around on the ice like that is quite impressive.
She did a fantastic job. She really, really did. And I think she really pulled it off.
Yes, the much-hated Heather changed our opinion with her courage in the face of adversity, dancing and skating on a prosthetic leg.
Sometimes I watched her, and it was as if she, you know, had 2 perfect legs.
If you didn't know, you wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have ever guessed.
Watching Heather Mills on Dancing on Ice was a revelation because, like a lot of people, I was obsessed with discovering first which leg is it as she skated, and when is it coming off.
Under the watchful eyes of the world, Heather made it through to week 5. Even when at times she was clearly struggling.
Oh my. It's really coming out of the socket. That screw might have loosened again.
Say what you like about Heather Mills, and everyone has. She did actually do a really good thing for disabled people.
People might look at that and think, wow, she can do that. That means I can do that. And you know what? I'm going to take up dance because of it. Or I'm going to take up ice skating because of it.
Marvellous job.
It's time for the business of the night. Please welcome back onto the stage, Cindy and Scooch.
Making Your Mind Up, the show that decides the UK entry for the Eurovision Song Contest. Here is the nail-biting moment when our 2007 representative was about to be announced.
Yeah, it was a bit of an awkward moment, if I'm honest.
And the name of the winning act was fed to the two presenters. What could possibly go wrong?
1, 2, 3, Cindy!
Oops, that's nul point for one of our esteemed hosts.
When he announced the winner is Cindy, we didn't hear Fern say our name.
Cindy!
You've got a really excruciating moment when Scooch are standing there thinking, have we won? Have we not won?
You look at Caroline, who was standing next to me, her face is a picture. She's like some sort of like meerkat looking around, not understanding what was going on.
Everybody thought that he'd got it right because it's Terry Wogan and he was the one who cocked it up.
It was shocking, it was painful, but only Terry Wogan could play that out and pretend it's all fine, and only Terry Wogan can be forgiven for such a massive mistake.
Terry Wogan just took the mickey out of that show all along, and it's such a shame that he's not there anymore.
Who would have thought that Fern Cotton, the new kid on the block, would have to dig him out of a huge hole? The whole point of that whole series was that one moment.
I hate to say it, but you could be right.
I know.
And whatever happened to Scooch?
Well, Scooch went on to fly the flag for Britain at Eurovision.
We came second from last.
Oh dear, shame really. It was ever such a catchy song.
Scooch will probably go down as one of the most embarrassing acts ever to represent the United Kingdom. And we've had a fair few over the last 10 years in particular, but they stuck out a mile, particularly the line about salty nuts.
Coming up, a showdown born in the 1980s.
I really stuck the knife in.
And the barking Brazilian star of X Factor.
Is Louis Walsh going absolutely potty?
Welcome back. So far, we've shown you tuneless shocks, tasteless shocks, and there's plenty more to come. Next, star of America's Next Top Model, Tyra Banks, the goddess-like TV mentor who offers wise counsel to her contestants. Seen here in typically sympathetic and motherly reassuring mode.
Well, Tiffany, I was just like you. I didn't know what that stuff was when I first started modeling. And it's okay to ask questions.
It's just a lot going
I know
on
it's
in
hard.
my body and just being here and just thinking about home.
Oh, good grief. Tyra was so motherly sitting there. My job was to be the negative foil to Tyra Banks's motherly, nurturing, all-knowing and all-sweet goodness.
So it was something of a shock when Tyra, faced with an unusually surly and ungrateful Next Top Model, indulged in some uncharacteristically less than sweet ranting.
Do you know that you had a possibility to win? Do you know that all of America is rooting for you? Do you know that? And then you come in here and you treat this like a joke? You come in here and look at that and say, I can't read that. You read 10 times better than half of those girls over there.
You did.
Well, it was really out of character for Tyra, this outburst, because she was somebody who was always a little bit remote and detached from all of that.
And I think she felt disrespected by the contestant who didn't seem to be bothered, didn't seem to care enough about winning.
The fact of the matter is I spoke under my breath. Are you going to let her get away with it?